Did you ever think how cool it would be to live in a garden in the sky? I think it would be amazing. We're in Suwanee, Tennessee, right on the western edge of the Cumberland Plateau. It's about 1,900 feet here in elevation, and things look a little bit different from a mountaintop. We're the home of Deb and Rick Dreves in Suwanee, Tennessee, and I absolutely love this border garden.
Thank you.
This is fantastic. Starting with your catmint right here, and blanket flower.
Yes, ma'am.
To attract
You got it.
bees and butterflies.
Yes, and good memories.
Tell me about these fantastic lilies.
So these, I wish I could tell you the specific name. I've checked. I can't identify it, but it started out as a small plant a year ago, and this is the second year, and this is what I've got. It blew me away. Really surprised.
It frames the beautiful view too out there. Could you put some more further on?
We try to kind of balance things without being too rigid about it.
Sedum, which will come on in the fall.
Yes.
And attract pollinators. This grass. What is this grass?
It's a blue. Rick is the grass fan and said we had to have some grass. There are actually a couple varieties in here of bluegrasses, and they're now, I guess you'd call them blooming with their pretty stalks.
Rick, how wide and long do you think this bed is? And I absolutely love the shape that you've curved it around instead of just straight.
Well, it's about 100 feet long, give or take. And the reason that we curved it the way we did is we're sitting on top of a sandstone bedrock that's actually no more than 6 or 8 inches below us. And so we were looking for places with deeper soil, and that's where the bed is bigger, where we have a little more soil. And where the rock is really close to the surface, we made it narrow because not as many things were going to grow there. Ironically, it all seems to do okay, but it's all sitting on no more than 6 or 8 inches of soil.
Which is pretty acidic too for up here.
Yeah. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And I love, Deb, the way you have repeated the plants too. You don't just have one specimen plant. You've repeated this over here and this one over here. That's
I like
cool.
a little bit of order, but I don't want to be too tied to it. But I do like the balance, so I think that works well. And as I've gotten older in my gardening, I've decided I like massing a little bit more, not just one, but have a lot of something.
And you mentioned that these are all perennials.
Right.
You don't have to have annuals to make the color spot.
Exactly. Yeah, and that really surprised me because I always thought of the perennials as just sort of being there in the background, and now it's like, wow, this is, with the exception of one or two.
This is pretty much a guaranteed garden. It will come back like this every year, barring,
a
bugs or a
winter.
freeze or something.
You have foxglove?
I do.
And how do you keep the deer away from this fantastic area?
We have tried, because we do have deer, we have tried several things, putting clothes that I've worn on the ground, putting
Did that work?
I think everything works for a little and then they get used to it. So I think that's the thing, change it up. We've put cat hair, we've put art hair. I think one time I poured beer out here. But what I usually go to is blood meal, which is an inexpensive product. It's great for the plants. It greens them up, but it is basically dried chicken blood, as I understand
Very
it.
natural.
And the deer don't like the smell of it. So it works well until you get a heavy rain.
This is probably my favorite plant in your garden.
The
evening primrose.
That was a gift from a friend who was thinning out her garden, and this is what it did.
What a nice friend.
And
What's
I
her name?
remember them
Have her
all.
email. It's a wonderful plant. The bees are all over it for pollen because you can hear them sonicating. If you get really close to this plant, you can hear the zzz, and they're not coming after you. They're going for the pollen. When they buzz, it makes all the pollen fall, and they gather it in their little
There's
legs.
a reason they're called busy bees, right?
That's right. That's one reason, yes. Busy buzzing bees. Wow, daylilies in 2 colors.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And they haven't spread throughout the whole bed, so
Beautiful. I love them. They're kind of a mainstay, but they are deer candy. You will come out here sometimes and find all the blossoms just nibbled right off.
Oh, wow.
So we had to do some creative cages before you got here. Keep them away.
To keep the flames on. Fortunately, they do reproduce a lot.
Yes.
So that's a good thing.
Yes.
And we have bachelor buttons.
Yes.
Fantastic.
The blue, you just
I
can't.
love that deep blue with
yeah,
the
right.
yellow. Fantastic. Did you do that on purpose? Did you go
No,
out and look for
actually, I did
where is a
not.
blue flower?
But I do love that shade. It's just,
I do too, and the bees like it too.
bees like
Pollinators
it.
love that.
And it reseeds, so it's okay, even though it's technically not a perennial. It reseeds itself and is coming back in other places now.
Beautiful. Even though it's almost gone, your Phlox pilosa
Yes.
is still gorgeous. Mainstay in the garden for pollinators. That hollyhock is incredible.
So-
I think of that as Grandma's garden.
Yes, I do too, right?
But
right?
I love it.
That and
It's
the
so
fox gloves. It's that kind of old-fashioned.
Yes,
Yeah,
old-fashioned, and the bees are all over this. They're all in there, and you can hear them sonicating on that as
That's-
well.
And it comes back stronger every year. It's just great.
And you mentioned you have, which aster is this?
It is a purple aster. It's a cultivar. I know that, but
Blooms
I don't
in the
know.
fall, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
native aster?
No, I think it's a cultivar.
Okay,
I think
well,
so.
this is a good tip on asters. It's called the Chelsea chop. You go in May or June and you cut it a third to a half off.
Right.
It delays the bloom time just a little bit, but it keeps it from flopping. They keep that
Yeah.
nice rounded shape, and yeah.
So not too late. I can still do it.
Oh, you can still do
good.
it right
Okay,
now. Yeah,
good.
that's great.
And I do that to the mums as well. They've already been cut once. I'll cut them again before 4th of July.
Okay.
And
Oh
then
yeah,
they'll
you
come
keep
back.
cutting them.
Yep.
too. Okay. This landscape area is beautiful. It's got shape, form, function, everything that we want in a managed landscape. Do you have a natural area too?
Yeah, we do.
You've got a lot of land.
Yeah.
Let's go see it.
Yeah.
This is Deb and Rick's natural area, and it's about 75 feet long by probably 30 deep. You manage this differently than the other parts of your garden. I know you told me. So who put this in? Who decided to do this, and who takes care of it?
I decided I didn't want to cut all the lawn that was here. So we said, okay, instead of lawn, let's create a more natural area. And so I mow it down every fall, but every spring it just comes up and does its thing again. And it's early, but this will get better and better as we go further into the summer in terms of things blooming and attracting butterflies.
It will be a
and whatnot.
terrific migratory butterfly hotspot right here.
Usually you would do this by tilling everything under and killing everything that's there for a couple months and then seeding it with wildflower. We were not patient enough for that. So really most of this has either just grown up on its own, or I've dug it up and brought it in and put it here. It also serves as kind of a dumping ground for anything I've got too much of in the main
So
garden.
you did not till this or use Roundup on it and kill
No,
everything?
no,
It's just
didn't. This is
fantastic.
just-
And it's still doing really well. So Monarda,
Right.
you've got some two species
Two
of
species of
I think you told me.
goldenrod.
What else is in there?
I think there's wild leek,
Okay.
ironweed that is in there. There's some coreopsis coming.
Right here.
What else? Oh, well, we've got the Indian pink, not the fire pink, the Indian pink, and several of the milkweeds that come along as well.
That's fantastic. So every now and then you go in and you'll pull out some woodies.
Yeah, so I
and
try to cut back on the trees. We have a lot of locust trees that like to come in here. I try to cut those out. But pretty much I'd let it go. Every now and then the bergamot gets a little aggressive and I'll pull some of that down to give some other things room. But other than that, I don't touch it often.
That's awesome. It's beautiful, and it's going to be even more beautiful in September and October.
Hope so.
I don't believe I've ever seen so much bee activity on this lavender, which is the cultivar phenomenal.
Right?
You've got common eastern bumblebees. You've got butterflies on this. We saw a silver-spotted skipper, a pipe vine. What on earth? This is fantastic. When did you plant it?
So this particular one has been in 2 years. After the hard freeze we got in that December,
Yeah.
it killed the lavender that was here, which was also phenomenal lavender. So most of this is new from 2 years ago. We've tried other things in this bed. This started off as a vegetable bed, and it's gone through many, many variations, but the lavender loves it here, and it's fun to sit and watch the insects and listen to them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just fantastic. And the fact that you've put it in such a long swath, I think brings in even more bees. because they want to be easy pickings here. On the edge of the natural area that Deb and Rick have created, there is a fantastic pawpaw tree, which is the host plant for our state butterfly, the zebra swallowtail. We're seeing evidence of the zebra swallowtail on this, already chewing. There's some frass and there's some chewed edges along the edges of the leaves. So we think it's here, and fantastic job. And it's already spreading out here. This is a great plant. You need a lot of room for this because it colonizes.
Interesting flowers, the little black, not so pretty, but interesting
Right.
flowers.
How'd you get the inspiration for this?
I ate a pawpaw at Warner Park. That was it. She had a great one at Warner Park,
Okay.
and I ate it, and I thought, I got to have one of those, but
Yeah.
it's never fruited for us.
Okay.
So,
Well, it may still. There's hope, but it does have that edible fruit that lots of mammals love, and it's a great host plant. So good job. Underneath this fantastic chestnut oak, which I love, you have planted a shade garden. Tell me about it.
This actually started life as a wildflower garden, has lots of ephemerals in it, which you're not seeing too much of now. Great in spring, but then this time of year, of course, you still want to keep it full. So I tried to find things that naturalized well, that would blend well, but not create too much, crowd out those ephemerals so that they could come back in spring.
So this is a great mix of non-invasive plants and some native plants.
Yes,
too.
yes.
And some cultivars
Yes.
and a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Okay, that's great. And to give a little structure to your fabulous shade garden, you have put in a spice bush. Deb, an amazing thing. You see this little tent right here?
I do,
On
but-
your spice bush? This is evidence of the spice bush swallowtail caterpillar feeding. And look at that little guy.
golly,
You've got
look
one
at that.
right there.
Wow.
You've seen it here
He's very
first.
tiny.
It is very tiny.
Wow.
As it grows, it will make new little flaps all over, and you'll continue
Wow.
to see them unless a predator gets them. But that is how they hide from predators. That's nature's way.
This is damage?
This may be where they've chewed. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then he went right in there, and he's hiding himself until it seems safe. So
Boy, he's tiny.
there he is.
I just like the smell of the bush.
Plus,
so-
yes, and it's actually the berries are edible. People put them in salads. I'm not a fan, but some people
Wow,
are.
I did not know
And it smells great. So when you crush the leaves, it's a wonderful native shrub. Good job,
Thank you.
Rick. I love this area. The stone here is just makes such a beautiful border. You've got not only the cultivar Solomon seal with the variegated leaf, but also the straight up native over there. You've even got two types of hydrangea here, the popular garden variety that is either pink or blue, depending on where you put it, and another native hydrangea too. It's just in the white, and it all blends together so well.
None of this was here when we bought the house, and we found these stones along the driveway. I think they were trying to edge the driveway with them, but they were half buried in the ground, and we started finding more and more. And I said, hey, wait a minute, I can do something with this. And so it's just a dry stack stone thing, and which is, there's no cement or anything, which is why you have the Solomon seal poking out from in between the rocks, which is
Yeah,
kind of
there's
cool.
a little guy over here.
Yeah, they're coming out everywhere. But it's just a dry stack, and we backfilled it with some soil. And all these plants, pretty much, except for the hydrangea, were rescued from somewhere else on the property, and we brought them together and gave them a nice place to be here.
It's beautiful. Here in the front of your house, you've got a landmark Norway spruce that's incredible. And coming on around, you've got a still bee. You've got a fantastic ground cover.
St. John's wort, the brigadoon.
I love this front area. And plus, you've got some edible landscape
Right,
here.
right.
Which, tell us about everything.
So when I moved from Nashville, I brought my strawberries with me, needed a quick place to put them. This was already on the house, so we stuck them here, and they actually have worked really well. People love to come up and pick them when they come to visit.
bet.
And the leaves, they do a pretty good job of staying green even in winter.
They
so
do. They
it's
look like a little ground cover
Yeah,
right there. So
right.
fantastic. And the St. John's wort.
St. John's wort, we love this. It did get blasted 2 winters ago, but it's coming back. And I love this chartreuse color. color.
I
It's
do
just-
too. I love
yeah,
that. It's real
yeah.
popular right now. What was the cultivar on that?
I thought it was Brigadoon. I think
Brigadoon?
that's what
Okay.
it was, yeah.
Okay. And this still, we've got several different
Yeah.
colors that blend beautifully together. So,
And we
it's
leave
just-
those heads on through fall because they add a little bit of interest even once they're not blooming.
So yeah, and the interesting thing about St. John's wort is, it blooms around this time of year, and the blooms are typically 1-day blooms, but you'll of course get more the next day and so on. But they're really delicate, interesting blooms.
This is a home where this couple has worked the plan, and here is the plan, which Rick put on Adobe Illustrator, and we've got every single bed area, so it's really cool.
And I
This is-
pencil them in, and then I can take them off next
Yes.
year. when it
Notice pencil,
changes.
not ink, right?
Pencil.
So move 'em around.
And this is what they do in the wintertime. So they do their garden plants. But thank you so much for letting us come today. It has
Pleasure.
truly been a pleasure to see all this mix of beautiful flowers and your gorgeous view and your garden in the sky. It truly is.
We learned so much. Thank
Well,
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you love gardening as much as I do, you'll want to subscribe to this channel. We showcase not only gardens, but gardeners as well, and the joy that the two of those meshed together can bring.